Hello. Hello. So I'm Sinead from Uganda, and you are very, very welcome. I hope you can hear me okay, and I hope you can see me okay. It's evening time. So I have a light on behind me, and so I'm here to talk to you about aromatherapy for face masks. So we'll go a little bit broader than that, but I mean, aromatherapy for face masks in itself is a really, it's a beautiful thing because I always think limitations are just they really serve, they kind of help they make things easier. So you have a face mask, hopefully it's a kind of a sustainable, reusable one, and hopefully you have some oils. So essential oils, you might have them just little pure essential oils in the bottle, or you may have blends. Um, so we'll talk a little bit about both. But so how are you going to use essential oils with your face mask, aromatherapy with your face mask? So first thing is, what kind of oils are the best oils to use? Antiviral is ideal, but to be honest, all oils are generally strongly antibacterial, a lot are antiviral. Pretty much all of them are immune boosting, so you're not going to go wrong with using oils on your face mask. So whatever you have already, that's what I would use. That's great. And if it's lavender, that's great. If it's tea tree, but the only thing is, if it's a pure oil, just be careful, because pure oils, I do not recommend using pure oils at all, really, ever. Um, I hope you can see me. I think you can see me okay. I don't recommend using pure oils because they seem so innocuous, so safe, so nurturing and caring and all that, and they are, but they're also strong. They really are. They're condensed forms of the plant, the tree, whatever it is. They're condensed forms. So don't, don't misuse them. And I would just say rarely use them pure. So if you're using them on your face masks, do use them in a blend. That would be the ideal. So Uganda, I'm a fan of Uganda, and these are my beautiful oils. So this is Salute, which is uplifting, and it's blended. And it's blended because you can use it immediately. It's a little bit more kind of, in a way, it preserves the oil better, because you might buy a little bottle of sandalwood, which is gorgeous, but you might not use it all. So it's better to use it, to get it in a way that you'll use it. So that's why I kind of made these, so people would get them in a way that they use them, and it's easy. So ideally you'll use them blended, but you can blend them yourself. So if you have so ideal oils would be antivirals. Rosemary is excellent. Tea tree is good, but again, it must be blended. Bergamot is beautiful because it's uplifting. It's just so, everybody loves bergamot, and it's not because it's boring or it's simple. It's because of its very chemical balance. Everybody loves bergamot, and it is so uplifting. It's so feel good. It's in this one, the uplifting one, Salute, because it's just beautifully chemically resonates with people, and it's strongly antiviral. So bergamot I would really recommend. So how you can use them blended, I would really recommend. You can blend your own, or you can get my oils, but I would not recommend using them pure. I really wouldn't. Now, if you're a qualified aromatherapist and you know what you're doing, maybe on the outside would be okay, but never on the inside of your mask, never against your skin. So, but blended is definitely how I would recommend them. So, why aromatherapy for face masks? Because a couple of reasons. One, humans have never as yet learned to really deal with viruses. Viruses are very strong. Viruses have a very strong life cycle. But if you ignore that, but if you lean into aromatherapy is actually quite well versed in disrupting the life cycle of a virus. So if you use any antivirals, which are bergamot, which are rosemary, all of those are very strongly antiviral. So you would use those. I'm hoping that phone call isn't important. So yeah, use antiviral oils, and yeah, that's what I would recommend. But why? So one, they're antiviral. Two, face masks can be a little bit anxiety inducing, a little bit unpleasant. So if you use essential oils with your face mask, then they will be calming. It will be a little bit more feel good, a little bit more even uplifting. Bergamot is both calming and uplifting, so that's what you'd like. So that's another good reason. Second good reason. Third good reason is because a lot of what makes the face mask so unpleasant is the actual smell. When you've got a face mask on your face, you're generally smelling recycled air, which isn't really always that good. Plus, it's possible that the face mask itself is made of something which isn't entirely natural. So it's, it just dulls the freedom of air passing, and it smells in itself not very pleasant. So if you can put oil on, then each in-breath is pleasant, which is like smelling salts. When people smell smelling salts, they're like, okay, this is actually pleasant. So you can transform the experience from being quite unpleasant, quite anxiety inducing, quite smelly and not nice, into something that's pleasant, calming, and smelling nice. So that's another good reason to use oils in your face mask. So when you would use them, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. First of all, if you want to go purely antiviral. So purely antiviral, I would recommend tea tree, rosemary, bergamot. They're the good ones for that. Ravensara also, which is a cousin of eucalyptus. Eucalyptus also is excellent. But if you want to use them more, which I would recommend in a broader context of well-being, and this is kind of an invitation to, you can use this moment in time, which is, it's a significant moment in time. Like, it's a very hard time when people are not able to connect with each other as they did before, when people are, everybody's life is kind of just truncated in a way, and that's hard for everybody. But it's also an invitation to be more present with what is, connect with what is much closer to you, like within a 2-meter radius, and to instead of going outward, going inward, basically, instead of seeking, what is without, what is, connective with what is inward. So here you could go with, what's going on inside, which is, it's never been more important to connect with what's going on inside, because given that this, the pandemic is clever little virus where you can't really tell that you have it for 14 days externally, but if we were a little bit more aware internally, we might just spot it earlier. For example, the sense of smell. So that's a really good reason to use aromatherapy. Your sense of smell is one of the first things that's dulled as part of the virus. So to use oils and just feel, and it's something that, it's so instinctive, our sense of smell. It's so basic to what we are. It's so primeval. It's so deep in us. It's way much more deeply a part of us than our thinking mind. Our thinking mind is fabulous, it's beautiful, but it's just the, it's the newest part of our brain. Sense of smell is way older, way more entrenched in what we've been for all of our development as a being. So if you use the oils, it'll do a couple of things. It'll connect you more with where you are now. It'll give you a heads up if you possibly, carrying something, because your sense of smell will be dulled. But it's an invitation to move inward. And right now, there's not a lot going on without, so, it's good to move in. So I would invite you to use it with your face mask as part of a just checking in with yourself of like, where are you right now? Because it's a very difficult time. It really is, a very difficult time mentally for everybody. So I would invite you to use the oils, not only for the antiviral aspect, the immune boosting aspect, the feel good, smell good aspect, leaving that aside, just the self connection of, where am I right now? What does the body need right now? So to connect in with, do you need grounding? Which is generally the case, to be honest, like grounding, like settling, calming. And then you've got the trees. You've got sandalwood, cedarwood, frankincense, myrrh, beautiful trees which will ground you, which will all boost the immune system. They will all serve you in a multitude of ways. So the grounding is, if you need grounding or if you need uplifting. And then you've got your eucalyptus, you've got your rosemary, you've got your bergamot, all of which are strongly antiviral, beautifully antiviral. So that's another way to go. But it's lovely rather than just to say, right, COVID, let's get the antivirals on. Instead of that, rather check in with the body and say, actually, what is the body asking for now? Because at the end of the day, until there's a vaccine, it's the body that has to fight the virus. So what does the body need? And the body will tell you every time. But if you can just have that moment to ask it, what does it need? And the oils they're just a clear communication method with the body and with nature and with where you are. Like, what does the body need? I need grounding. What have I got? I've got sandalwood, I've got cedarwood, I've got frankincense, I've got these beautiful, beautiful trees that will connect me with myself, boost the immune system, and give the body what it needs right now. So you're grounding, you've got your uplifting, which are also strongly antiviral, but you don't need to always lean into the antivirals. I mean, right now it's understandable, but if the body needs grounding, the body needs grounding. So give the body grounding. And then you've got your balancing, which are all the middle now. It's beautiful lavender, beautiful clary sage, and all those beautiful mid-flowery notes that will just, balance the body, which is also an important part of self-care right now. So this time, this crazy, crazy COVID time is, it's an opportunity. It doesn't, it's a hard time, but it is an opportunity to look inward, move inward, and see what does the body need. So that's aromatherapy for face masks. How you would use, never pure. I really recommend that. Now I'm sure there's probably somebody on earlier today could say pure is fine. And then they talk a little bit about how if it's a very pure oil, then pure should be fine. But that's not the case. Pure oils, yes, of course, you want to use pure, good quality oils, but pure on the skin, no. They're very concentrated, and that doesn't make them bad. It just means makes them strong. So I recommend never pure in the skin, never internally. Never take them internally. So never pure, never internal on the mask. And you roll, the way I do it is, so I use it kind of as a mindful moment of what does the body need? And it's a beautiful invitation. Like it's really hard, relating to the world with a mask on. But it's a beautiful opportunity to connect in with what does the body need, grounding, uplifting, or balancing. And so my 3 oils are ground, salute, and balance. They're the 3 roll-ons. And just to check in with what do you need. So salute is uplifting. So the body will tell you if you just give it a moment, like literally not even a moment, because it all exists outside of time anyway. But if you just, connect in with what does the body need, and then you roll on. So for these, because they're blended, I would say roll on the inside of the mask all the way around, and the outside also. Because the inside, I always think, is for me, and the outside is for everybody else who doesn't as yet know how amazing bergamot is. Plus, it's just lovely to connect with people. I know they're 2 meters away, but they do smell it, and it just spreads the antiviral action. And I'm going to quick smell it before I say anything else. Sweet, sweet rosemary. Oh, it's gorgeous. So this is rosemary bergamot. It's my own blend, but it's gorgeous, and you can make it yourself. You really can. If you have the essential oils at home, you can make them. But rosemary has been used since the last major pandemic. Actually, the one before last. Last was the Spanish flu. Before that was the plague, which was, badass pandemic. And it became practice in that time, so I think that was the 1400s, to both hang and grow rosemary outside the front door. So they would hang rosemary outside the front door, and the reason was because do they intuit it, do they feel it, do they know, they probably just knew. This knowledge has been lost, or well, it's still here, but that rosemary has so many benefits, but one of them is that it disrupts the life cycle of a virus. And this has been, I don't like to shout it out too much, because obviously it's a very serious situation where everybody's looking to the labs to see what they're going to produce. But it's also good to lean into what people have known. It's not the first pandemic. pandemic that we've seen, and it's good to lean into what people knew before that is still there. And I love this little bit of history that carries through. So rosemary has been what used to be hung outside of houses in the so it's the plague, so before the Spanish flu, and the reason was because they say it protected the household, which is kind of a way of saying that it boosts the immune system, it kills bugs. And today, right up until this day, people grow rosemary outside their door and they don't know why, but it's tradition to grow rosemary outside your door. And often, if you go to houses, you'll see a big bush of rosemary right outside the front door, and they won't know why. Nobody knows why, why rosemary is grown there, but that's why. It's ever since 1400s, since the plague, when people knew that rosemary just helped stop whatever the heck was coming up your front door in terms of viruses or baddies or whatever bugs. So rosemary is so powerful. So right now rosemary is just a beautiful plant to have, but when I say plant, you can't really use it. Like, it's lovely to grow outside your front door, but essential oils are just so much more powerful than any other form. So aromatherapists say that there's the same strength in 1 drop of peppermint oil as there is in 26 cups of peppermint tea. So that's a good kind of, indication of the strength of oils. They're so strong, they're so concentrated, it's just the way they're produced. They are, like, I love to say that the prana or the chi of the oil, they're so strongly, the essence, that's what they are, they're essential oils. Versus, you'd have to, like, when you're talking about throwing a bit of rosemary on your roast potatoes, yes, brilliant. Having rosemary in any form is excellent, but ideally essential oils is when you'll get them at their most strongest. So essential oils of rosemary, bergamot, eucalyptus. Put them on your mask, blended, please, because you'll put a pure oil, like say you have eucalyptus at home, and if you do, it's great. It's great to use it. It's great to use what you have at home. But if you put just, a little drop here, a little drop here, put against your skin, again, against your skin will not react, be quite happy, feel the smell, but after a while, if it's a pure essential oil, often the skin reacts quite badly, in that it's just going, that is too much for me. So it won't react initially. It'll feel the eucalyptus against your skin, it'll feel it, and only after about 2, 3, 4 months, it'll suddenly have a massive reaction. And there's 2 ways to react to essential oils. One is initially, immediately, straight away, the body goes, whoa, too much. It only really ever happens when you use them pure. The body reacts firmly, immediately, saying, no, too much. The second way is that it's just a build-up of over time. So this is kind of a new format. Oh, I'm not sure. I can't see. Yeah, no, I think this is. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions, please do shoot them in here. Okay, I just put a message there. Please shoot them in if you have any questions. But yeah, basically essential oils. So I've given you the top oils to use: rosemary, bergamot, eucalyptus. Anyone in the eucalyptus family, which is Ravensara, lots of different kinds of eucalyptus, beautiful, softer, gentler eucalyptus is all good. Tea tree is obviously excellent, but again, it's very strong, so just be sure that it is not anyway pure on the skin. Strongly antiviral, they're the main ones, but I mean, then you're kind of getting into the immune boosting, which is basically all oils are immune boosting. So my recommendation would be, if you have an oil, use it. How you know if an oil is still good, because so often I come across people who've had an oil for like 10, 15 years sitting on a shelf. So if it still smells good, then use it. It may have lost some potency, but the main thing with oils is if it's kind of an uplifting oil, kind of one of the rosemary, eucalyptus, one of those we've mentioned, then smell it, feel into it. How does it smell? Because it may have lost some efficacy, some usefulness. Whereas sandalwood, cedarwood, frankincense, myrrh, vetiver, these deep oils, they will only get better in time. So you'll be safe with those. So yeah, I think that's basically it. So my oils, yeah, it's the little ones I really recommend. So roll-ons, if you have a roll-on of any kind, use it on your face mask. And then also, whenever you're not using your face mask at home, just pop it on the skin. Yeah, so Yoganda is, I'm a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher and an aromatherapist, obviously. And I have these 3 beautiful roll-ons and 3 full all-over body oils, muscle soothe, detox, and relax. So those ones, ideally you'd be using those all every day as well, because essential oils will boost your immune system. They are antiviral. They are beautifully sustaining to the life form that we're all walking around in. So if you can use them at many points in your day, that's ideal. But certainly for the face mask. So you saw how I did that in case you missed it. Simple, little roll on, all the way inside, that's for you. All the way outside, that's for everybody who doesn't as yet know how absolutely magical essential oils are. But I also feel it kind of protects you. The ones on the outside, it kind of protects you, kind of cute. It's like a bit of a Wonder Woman barrier. So that's it. Pop it on. And you can use any oil, really. I just recommend not pure. And try to make it an antiviral. Citruses are always good, but not pure, because they can be all essential oils can be aggravating to the skin. And ideally, I'd love you to have all 3 of my roll-ons, because then you've got your uplifting, which is the yellow salute, grounding, which is the red for the base chakra, sandalwood seed with frankincense, and the balancing one. So ideally you'll have 3 of those, or your own version of those in whatever form makes sense to you, so that you can check in with not just the magic that they bring, but also what does the body need? What does the body need? And then give it what it needs. So thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions, shoot them into the questioning place. And thank you so much. Namaste.